Hey, what's up, my ninjas? Shinobi here with another Diablo 3 Reaper of Souls beta video update for you guys. They did put a new patch out, and I want to talk a little bit about that. If you want to read everything that happened in the patch, just go down below. There'll be a link right down there for you guys. So let's get into exactly everything that's been going on with this patch. I want to talk about a couple things. I'm not going to talk about each and every single detail. You can read everything if you want to, but the main things that I want to talk about, things that when I was streaming earlier tonight and the patch went live, and it actually was a lot of fun playing on the beta. And, you know, I have been getting a little worn out playing on the beta, and I don't want to play too much because I don't want to like take away a lot of the surprise, and I don't want to, you know, I want to make sure that I'm having a lot of fun when the game actually does release. But the things that they did implement into the beta is pretty awesome. The very first thing that one of the first things that I noticed was they added a new stash tab, brand new stash tab. So instead of having 3, now you'll have 4. You just got to pay a little bit extra gold. It's not a big deal. I think it's like 400,000 gold or 300,000 gold, and you just buy each slot and stuff like that. So not really that expensive, but definitely really awesome that they implemented that into the game, and will be in the release as well too. Another thing too that was pretty awesome was, you guys remember I put a video out about almost 2 months ago showing you guys how to level from 1 to 70, not even killing a single monster. You didn't have to have any gear whatsoever. You put it on Torment 6, you would complete 2 quests that didn't require you to kill anything. They're just timed events. You go in there, you finish the event, you get like a bunch of levels. You go from like level 1 to 17 and like the first time you do it. You can also go from 60 to 70 super fast. That's what I did on the beta to get all my characters to 70 in about an hour total, all of them. So that video actually showed the 2 quests they had to do, which was the Matriarch's Bones and also the Jar of Souls quest. And I said in the video a way that they could fix it is that you got to force us to kill some monsters. If we have to kill some monsters, then it'd be useless, because you know, you can't do Torment 6 when you're level 60. It's just not efficient. It wouldn't be as fast if you had to kill monsters, and it would slow down the leveling procedure a lot. And they did fix it. So now you have to kill monsters, which is really cool. I also made a video talking about a lot of bugs as well too. And they did. I went back and checked, and they fixed all that stuff. So they did a really big overhaul, fixing all these bugs. And last night I streamed, I didn't really see like any bugs whatsoever, which was really cool that they're getting everything fine-tuned and ready for launch and everything. Now, speaking of XP, one thing I did notice is that they increased the amount of XP you get from turning in bounties, and increased the monster XP that you get as well too. Before, when I was playing Reaper of Souls on the beta, I would go, like, I was Paragon level like 159 or something like that. And to get from 159 to 160, it took about 8-9 hours playtime of doing bounties. And then they made this change, and I went from 160 to 161 in about 20 minutes. So a big change, which is really awesome. Really looking forward to that, because especially if they do come out with like a seasonal ladder, which is something that they have talked about. I saw a blue post or something where they're having a seasonal ladder, and they had like data mine information and stuff like that, talking about that as well too. So if they do come out with a seasonal ladder, and you know your goal is to level quickly, seeing those Paragon levels skyrocket as you're leveling quickly, it just makes it feel more rewarding than like being like, well, I played all night and I got 1 Paragon level. Instead, it's I played all night and I got like 8 Paragon levels. How cool is that, you know? So it makes it more rewarding, and I'm really glad that they did that. The next thing that I noticed as well too is that the Hellfire Ring, I showed you guys a new Hellfire Ring that I crafted. I showed it on the stream, and I also showed a little preview of it in some videos, and you can probably see it on the screen. The graphic where the fire just kind of explodes and just goes everywhere. I thought that was really cool, but what they decided to do is change that. So now you have like this molten lava thing like on the ground, and when the monsters step in it, they take damage over time, which is really cool. And it actually turns out to be more damage, because it just ticks for like, depending on how much damage you have, because it does weapon damage, it does like, you know, for me it's like ticks for like 1 million like each hit, which is really awesome. So that's one thing I noticed as well too. Another thing, talking about the XP increase too, the monster health of Torment monsters, Torment 1 through 6, was reduced. So with having the monsters having their health reduced by quite a bit, before I was able to comfortably farm Torment 1, Torment 2 somewhat efficiently on the beta, and last night I was doing Torment 6. Wasn't really that efficient, but when my gear gets a little bit better, it will be efficient, but it just shows that, you know, the potential of doing Torment 6 farming is definitely there. It won't take you that long after first starting up Reaper of Souls to get into something like that. So pretty cool that they did that. Now also with the Torment levels, you guys know before you got like something like 3,500 bonus XP for being on Torment 6. Now because they did reduce that other stuff, that means that the healths and stuff like that, that means they had to reduce the bonus XP that you got from doing the higher torments too. Like Torment 6 now I think it's like 1,600 or something like that. So quite a big drop from there, but still, I mean, you're leveling really quickly. I mean, one bounty for me, and when I'm Paragon 159, 160, one bounty on Torment 6 gives me like 2 bars or something like that, which is pretty crazy. So that's pretty awesome. Next thing that I noticed that was really cool is if you look at the patch notes, you'll see that they changed a lot of the skills where before it would say it did physical damage, you know, like weapon damage is physical damage. Now a lot of them are saying like weapon damage is now fire damage and such and so forth. Like Smash for Hammer of the Ancients, I believe, does fire damage instead of physical damage now. And I think the reason that they're doing that is because there's a lot of items in the game that really benefit your character through elemental damage, like fire and lightning and cold and stuff like that. So I think they're trying to gear people towards doing that kind of stuff. Like you guys remember back in Diablo 3, I made a video about the Fire Monk. Now Fire Monk build will probably be even better in Reaper of Souls because you have all these items that go towards that, especially because a lot of the skills are gearing towards fire damage and gearing towards all kind of elemental damage. So I thought that was really cool that they're doing that, and makes for a lot more interesting builds. So you're probably going to see a lot of that stuff in the future. Probably, you know, hopefully it gives you some insight on some kind of builds you can do when you first start up Reaper of Souls when you get the game in March. Another thing they did too is before we had the keystones where you would complete a bounty and you would get a keystone, you can open up the rifts and you can go through and complete the rifts and everything like that. Now the way that it is with the bounties is you get the keystone fragments, and every 5 fragments is pretty much a keystone, so you can open up the rift to go through there. So pretty much you get those keystone fragments by doing bounties, and some bounties will give you a keystone fragment, some won't. You'll get them also from completing the bounty at the end, like completing all 5 of them. You'll get some in there too sometimes, and you know, you just kind of collect them here and there, and it's not just like, oh, you just complete this and there you go. I think it makes it a little bit more exciting too, because you know, typically people would be like, oh well, you know, it just kind of makes it feel like, okay, I'll do these 5 and then I'll get a key. You know, it's almost like that guaranteed thing, whereas you don't know what's going to happen. So it kind of keeps you guessing. You're like, you might get one when you turn in a bounty and you might not. And then when you put 5 of them together, you can do the rifts. But right now, the bounties seem like the way to go for getting XP in Reaper of Souls, especially in the beta. So, and things are subject to change too, but those are some of the things that I wanted to talk about today. If you guys have checked out the beta, what are some of your favorite things that you've seen been changed in the Reaper of Souls beta, the patch that just came out? What are some of your favorite things in there as well too? And go hit down below, click the follow button on twitch.tv/Shinobi Live for my new live stream channel that I'm going to be starting up, and we're going to be kicking that off on March 1st. And I hope you guys did find this video informative, and make sure you throw a like and leave a comment down below, and I'll be reading all your awesome comments and everything like that. Anyways, my name is Shinobi, and until next time, thanks for watching.